All right. So let's move on to some DC stuff now. And we have some news on Lanterns, which is interesting. Let's get into this Lantern story here. So Lanterns is reportedly headed to HBO much later in 2026 than we originally expected. Okay, let's read this. I don't like that story. I hate it. Despite previous speculation that Lanterns would premiere on HBO in the first few months of 2026, we have now reason to believe that the DC series is being saved for much further down the calendar. The expectation was that Lanterns would be released in the first few months of 2026, but with DC Studios' James Gunn recently claiming to be in the dark about plans to share a teaser trailer, that suddenly seems less likely. HBO has several big shows likely to premiere in the first half of next year, and DC Studios likely won't want the show to overlap with Supergirl in June. So when will we see Lanterns on our screens? The Green Lanterns podcast reached out to The Hollywood Reporter about a recent edition of the trade's Heat Vision newsletter, in which they seem to hint that Lanterns would premiere after Supergirl. They believe that's still the case, suggesting we won't get to watch the show until the second half of 2026 at the earliest. This will come as a disappointment to many, but it also makes sense. Supergirl is now a key chapter in the Superman saga, with Man of Tomorrow set to follow in 2027. Supergirl reshoots are reportedly taking place now to add more of David Corenswet to the movie, likely to set up his next appearance. Gunn has also hinted that Lanterns will feature Salvation and perhaps even set up the DCU's next big bad. If that is indeed the center, then it makes sense for the series to follow Supergirl, bridging the gap to Man of Tomorrow and whatever the filmmaker has planned beyond that. DC Studios co-CEO appears to have taken a break from social media, but here's hoping he provides an official update in due course. During a recent interview with Men's Health, Lanterns showrunner Chris Mundy talked about what it makes it here. We talked about that. That's an older story. Okay. So I'm torn on this, Chris. Because the first part of me is, well, I want to see this show. It's like one of my most anticipated DC things. I really want to see this show. We just talked about all the stuff Marvel has come out in the beginning of the year and then leading up to, July or whenever Spider-Man comes out. And I think Supergirl comes out before Spider-Man. So if that's the case, this is a good way for DC to get out of the way of that machine and build their own machine. If they do, all right, we have Supergirl, and then we have enough time before Wanda or Vision Quest or Doomsday comes out that we could put that out, do that. That's part one. Part two is we've been covering this Paramount Warner Brothers deal at length on this channel. And one of the things that it looks like James Gunn's position for now, whether it gets sold or not, is intact. But they might have different plans. We don't even know. One of the parts of the Paramount's getting this thing. Paramount's getting it. And so when Paramount gets it, there's a whole deal about HBO Max being folded in to Paramount Plus and not even being called HBO Max anymore. It's just going to be called Paramount Plus. So they have this entire slate now in general. If Paramount Plus is looking at the slate that they had, maybe they're also saying, well, we want to put that out at this time. So there's a lot there, Chris. What do you make of all of it? You're on mute. Yep.
Sorry, guys. Once we have HB Para Dance Boys, whatever the thing is going to be at that point in time. We talked about this a little bit last week of James Gunn. Yeah, maybe he's being coy about release schedules. Maybe it really is just, I truly don't know, because all this other stuff is happening behind the scenes. Part of me likes the idea of allowing DC to get their poop in a group and figure out what they want to do.
Right.
And make sure that they're putting out quality television and all of that. I always like the idea of this will get released when everything is exactly how we want it to be, but the actuality of that is so far and few between. We see this with reshoots all the time of, this is going to make the product better. And it doesn't always. We see this with delays sometimes. It doesn't always make things better. I want things now. When I want them. Right. And this is something that I've been really looking forward to, because the entire premise is so fun and interesting and different from what we've been given. And I really love the Lantern Corps. I think it's such a really interesting aspect of DC. And I love that we're going to be exploring that world in such an interesting way of boots on the ground, but with this kind of celestial overview into it and galactic interview into it. So it just bums me out, really.
Yeah.
I have nothing like smart to say about it aside from this
Okay.
bums me out and I don't like it.
That's fair. Winston, what do you think? Can you see both sides of it, or are you more in the camp of this stinks?
I'm on the camp that it stinks. My question is, and this is where I was confused, did Paramount officially convince Warner Brothers? Because I thought there's been 3 attempts and 3 turning down, and Warner Brothers asking other people. Is this happening?
It's not happening yet, but yeah, from all the stories that were happening yesterday, it seems like they're getting closer.
God. Okay. Well,
it seems Ellison. It just seems like Ellison really wants it. They're already talking about like what they would do. The rumors were more so about that. There's already reports of that Ellison was planning to keep Gunn. He already has plans of what he's going to do with it. It's like it seems pretty inevitable at this point.
It's then that to me is a whole separate conversation, just from the standpoint of, again, shrinking your options in your industry and going further and further into monopoly is not a good thing. And I think that this is already showing kind of proof of that. I mean, you mentioned the release dates. So yeah, Supergirl is June, late June 26th. A month later is Spider-Man.
Right.
September is Clayface, Batman in October, and then Doomsday in December. So if there was ever a time to let DC get on the map early, because you do have the 3 movies, you put Lantern in the spring. You put Lanterns in the spring, especially because it sounds like you're almost wrapped, like everything is done and you're just finishing up some post stuff. So that's how you get your foot in the door and make sure people are paying attention. You've got 2 incredible stars attached. It's gotten a lot of buzz based off of stuff that's been going on with it. So
this isn't official yet, but it's rumor.
Yeah. No. And I totally understand that. I don't think that is a good move, both because this is my most anticipated out of DC's docket right now.
Right.
But then also, again, the idea is you want to try and dominate as much as you can. I understand that as far as a Warner Brothers standpoint, you got Odyssey, because that's also Warner Brothers, right?
No, I think that's Universal.
That's Universal. That's right, because
I think so.
Nolan never really fully came back.
This big falling out. Yeah.
Then even more reason to get something. I know that's TV versus film, but something to get like your stamp on the map of just trying to take attention. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe Winston wants them to suck a piece of cheese.
Yeah. A dank piece of cheese.
A dank piece of cheese. So what do you guys make of it, man? Do you think this is a good idea or bad idea? And do you think it has anything to do with the potential or inevitable Paramount sale? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Oh, I love talking to you guys about Ridge wallets. I mean, I've talked to you about Ridge wallets before, and if you haven't heard it, well, I'm going to tell you again because they're awesome. They're so good. I used to have that big clunky wallet. Now it's a lot easier. Everything just fits together. Who wants that big, giant, crusty leather brick falling apart? It stinks. What's great about these is that they're unique. They're slim. It's got a modern design that holds up to 12 cards plus cash. For me, I've got the New York Giants one. Yeah, tough season, but hey, you got a good quarterback. And it just looks cool. There's over 50 plus colors and there's styles to choose from. Like I said, I got the Giants one. It's great. It's got over 100,000 5-star reviews. You know, the other thing is when you lose your wallet, it's like Panic City. But the good news, with the Ridge AirTag attachment, you'll always know exactly where it is before the panic mode kicks in. No matter what your pick is, Ridge has free shipping, 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all of their products. So for a limited time only, our listeners will get 10% off a Ridge. You got to use that code Kristian at checkout. You got to head on over to ridge.com, use the code Kristian, and you're all set. Now, after you're going to get one, and you will get one, they're going to ask you, hey, where'd you hear about us? You say, Kristian Harloff told us about it. Support the show. Tell them that we sent you.